Hello, my name is Michael McGarrah, and my project was to extend a tool for the variational sociolinguistics community to allow them to automatically extract phonetic representations from an audio file in the written transcriptions for Nordic languages, specifically Swedish and Danish. I'm working collaboratively with a PhD student at Queen Mary University of London named Nathan Young. He is a visiting scholar at NC State University, where I got my undergrad. His work is to find small changes in spoken speech and find the societal impacts. Some very smart people at the University of Pennsylvania several years back wrote a tool called FAVE, which stands for Forced Alignment and Vowel Extraction. This is the platform we have chosen to extend and work through the challenges with it for non-English languages. The first technical challenge was to understand enough linguistics, phonetic alignment, and acoustical modeling technology to extend the FAVE toolchain. I valued the personal question given to me by my mentor, Ken, which made me dig into several of those areas. On the surface, this doesn't sound hard unless you realize that you cannot just do a lookup, but have to break up the audio files and relate them to acoustic models for the sounds of the audio files themselves against time sequences from the transcriptions. All of these things have to work together. This process can get pretty complicated, and until you work out the flow of the information, which was undocumented, it's really hard to change. Once we worked out the workflows for the information, our next step was to get a phonetic alphabet and a phonetic dictionary for us to do lookups for the words that we were doing evaluations for. Most of those phonetic dictionaries are English-centric, with an ASCII character set being prevalent. My partner on the linguistics side did an amazing job and created a full million-word phonetic dictionary for Swedish using several sources of information and then validated it. This is the basis to the system and allowed us to move forward. Now that we have a dictionary and we have the content, our next step was to be able to work with the multi-byte character representations from the transcriptions and relate those to the phonetic representations, which are classically ASCII characters. The existing tool FAVE will not do that processing. So that you can see a visual representation of what we're talking about here, I'm putting up the PROT visualization tool that shows the WAV file forms, a phonetic representation of spoken words, and a written transcription of those words. And you're seeing what we are trying to do, taking the word one and two and reduce them to phonetic representation. So performing English phonetic transcription is a very well-solved problem, but only for the English language. Our work is to do this with the Nordic languages, specifically Swedish. The FAVE toolchain is hard-coded to the English language features. Language features for English that we're concerned with are the number of vowels, which are 15, the number of consonants, 24, and the number of stress levels for vowels, which is 3 for the English language. In contrast, Swedish has 37 consonants, 26 vowels, and 5 stress levels for those vowels. It is also has a very different method for determining tonal rules depending on word choice and position that change the phonetics situationally, which requires a dynamic rule system. The Danish language has similar issues with 28 consonants, 26 vowels, and 3 stress levels. So we extracted all those language-specific features from the FAVE code and rewrote them to use a generic language features configuration file. We also added a rules engine to allow for the Swedish rule set. Lastly, we extended the FAVE command line interface to maintain the existing legacy FAVE functionality as the default for English, and only extended it with the --lang feature with a language ID. We also updated the --dict feature so that the existing users can also maintain their English functionality. None of the changes impact the English functionality, and our tool could be dropped into any existing system without impact. I hope you'll watch our demo of the Swedish phonetic transcription, and all the best on your projects.